Hey guys, Derek here. Welcome back to the channel, or welcome for the first time if you are new. We are back to watch another episode of Heartstopper. This is Season 3, Episode 7. It is called Together. We had a roller coaster of an episode last time. We had happy moments, we had infuriating moments, but we ended more on like a positive tone, I think. Right, we had really angry moments from me, specifically surrounding Elle and her radio appearance, but then we ended with a happy conversation with our therapist where, where things are looking up, the birds are flying in the sky. It's great. And I'm very excited to see where episode 7 takes us. So, before we jump into this, if you end up enjoying my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. If you're new here, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And then if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon or joining YouTube memberships. You just sync up your own copy of the show and you can watch along with me. I'm also doing early access over on Patreon for this show as well, so if you're interested in seeing the finale reaction, that is already up on Patreon, so go check it out. Your support would mean the world. But, other than that, let's jump into Season 3, Episode 7 of Heartstopper. Dive by Olivia Rodrigo. I'm a tidal wave of question marks and you're just surfing. I didn't know she was a ballet dancer. I'm sorry, but there's no way in hell Charlie tackled that kid. In real life, Nick would have put a palm to that kid's chest and he would have been in the ground.
Why are you
Nick
looking at me
is
like
daydreaming, brother. He's got the hots for you right now.
Okay, class. It is the moment
Sex
we've all been
education.
waiting for. Cucumbers.
I love that show.
Honestly, I don't even know what the hell I'm doing, and I don't want my first time to be really bad and embarrassing. And maybe if I'm
you're in the perfect class right now, brother.
Anything.
Calm down.
It's a good thing we're in sex ed right now. I mean, maybe you'll get some good advice.
Exactly. Isaac and I are thinking on the same wavelength. This is important to learn, guys. Practice safe sex.
She was proper decent.
He's learning how to properly put a condom on, which is not useless. It's very good for people to learn. Oh, damn, son. He's saying put that on my cucumber later.
We are now going to look at some images of STIs.
No.
Calm down.
You do not want to get one of those.
You know, it's not some perfect, effortless thing. But
Awkward.
me and Elle, and
Sweaty.
we love each other.
Wow.
And one last thing to remember, folks.
Chlamydia
I think
equals
I should be
bad.
doing this sex ed lesson. Government officials say no to gender ideology. Come on, people.
I'm sorry about the interview, Al. Your mother and I had a chat.
Should have expected it.
No, you shouldn't.
Doesn't matter. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Dang, and now she doesn't feel any passion for her artwork. Damn, boys, ease up. I said ease up.
Oh, have you?
Don't come in! Fuck off!
Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't know he was here.
It's alright. Just glad it wasn't your mom.
You got very scared. Oh, he's applying for schools. What a what a nice thing for the production team to turn that laptop straight towards the camera. Sad
Can I
girl,
sleep over tonight?
please smile for me.
You know how my mum is about it.
Sad
She loves
girl
you.
finds joy once again. Please.
We could watch a movie, though. What about Moonrise Kingdom?
Classic.
Do you want to talk about it? Is there anything I could do to make you feel better?
Ice cream. Damn.
Decided I'm gonna look after myself and do what I want.
And that includes doing me.
Okay.
Obviously.
That's aggressively horny. No, I'm just kidding. It's a joke I probably would have made.
Guess what? That's still one more day. You get it?
One day more.
Charlie, can I have a quick word before you go?
One more day.
See you at rugby.
Another day, another rugby practice.
You're all staying at Truham for sixth form, right?
Yeah?
Good. I wanted to give you this. Campaigning starts in the autumn.
Head student Charlie Spring.
Well, you're smart, you're a strong person, and I think you could do a lot of good for the kids at this school. It's just something to think about over the summer.
It's something to add anxiety onto his plate.
Charlie, there are a lot of younger students who would find it inspiring to see you as head boy.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
Promise.
Mr. Farouk saying use your power for representation. He's saying, oh man. He's saying, I could have used you when I was a young boy.
Elle, we know you've been really down since that interview.
Go burn the radio station down.
It's not like this radio woman was a raging bigot or anything. She probably thinks of herself as an ally.
Yeah, she's just a jerk. She
I
didn't
was there to talk
care
about
about
my
you.
art.
Have you spoken to anyone about it? Tao, maybe?
You trying to peek?
No.
Yeah, you are.
We're in love.
Role reversal. Guys, not at practice.
Maybe one night you could stay around mine, just us. Do you think your parents would let you? I know my mum will be fine with it.
Well, yeah, especially because she's not in this season. Don't even have to ask her.
My advice is to sneak out.
My advice is that a sleepover is unnecessary for the activity in question. Good luck.
That's fair, but they
I hope you
also
do get
don't
to have
have
your
much
sex sleepover.
time together.
Michael, can you stop talking about my brother having sex? Please?
Michael! Keep mentioning it, Michael. You're great. You're doing great. You're picking up on all the social cues. Damn, Tao. This is the best Tao has looked in the entire show.
I mean, school is an option.
No.
You had sex at school?
Yeah, it was only one.
He's been in those rooms.
Yeah, I don't think
Those
we're
rooms
quite
have been
there yet.
contaminated. He can't go to school there anymore.
Yeah, Charlie's been through a lot.
You've been through a lot too, Nick. Don't forget that.
Yeah, well, not really though.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Not really.
So, do you have any advice about that kind of stuff?
Oh,
Well, you guys don't really have the same body parts.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. Sorry.
She's like, yeah, I have a ton of advice, actually.
Let me check.
Wow, bonding with your mom. Awesome.
I guess Rose.
Just be careful.
Charlie, you should become a you should become a professional. You should become a professional chef.
I really like that one.
Yeah, me too. We should try it again sometime.
I think he's saying he liked spending time with you, not necessarily the food.
Well, me and Nick were wondering if I could stay around his one night.
Oh, yes, at some point.
What about tomorrow?
We were thinking soon.
I'm not sure, Charlie. I'm not saying no. It's just you have your GCSE exams coming up, and this is quite a big step.
And I'm mentally ill, so I can't.
No, that's not what I said.
That's what you were thinking.
No. Come on now, brother. Come on now, brother.
I'm not a child. If I want to see my boyfriend, then I will. You can't stop me.
Charlie, Charlie!
Okay, I get his side of things, but like at the same time, you're living under her roof. At the end of the day, she gets to make the rules. I do think she's being a little tad bit overbearing, but at the same time, you know, it is her house.
Okay, so before we begin, I want to say something. I know you've been really down lately and uninspired about your art. It made me think about when Charlie was really ill and I made him that little video. It was the first time I felt like I could create something that put joy into the world. I guess I never really
try and
thought
give
of
you some
myself
joy
as a
back.
creative person before that. But I love making these little videos to cheer up the people I love. So I made you one.
She lays her head on me while she falls asleep.
What if this was actually Tao singing?
I wouldn't change her at all.
Wow.
The most beautiful.
I'm gonna cry. Oh man.
I guess.
Frick, dude. Why is that so cute?
That's how I see you.
Tao. Tao is such a good boyfriend. Holy crap, dude. University of Leeds. Brother, are you sure you can even make the rugby team? Are those colleges far away from good old Charles?
Nick? I need a distraction.
Yeah.
Nick, please don't leave me behind.
Get out of your own head, brother.
Hi.
Are you okay? What's wrong?
Yes.
You don't think I'm fragile, do you?
No.
He does a little bit.
Charlie, you're like the strongest person I've ever met.
But he's
You know
afraid
exactly who you are
that if he leaves you,
and what you want.
bad things might happen.
You give me so much confidence. But when you're not around, I don't know, I guess I feel a bit lost.
Nick.
It's nothing.
That's no so sad and precious.
I can't talk to anyone else like I talk to you.
That makes sense.
I think when I realised I was bi, I feel like I woke up. Because I was repressing so much of myself before then. Not just my sexuality, but my thoughts and feelings, my personality. I still hide behind that mask sometimes. Now I'm thinking about uni and my future and...
You think you're gonna have to stay behind that mask? And it scares you?
Freaking out.
He doesn't want to live behind that mask while he's away from Charlie.
That didn't make any sense.
It made sense. It made sense.
Oh, I'm a mess now, am I?
I think we're both a bit of a mess.
Now it is the sexy times. Messy sexy times. Of children. I do like the illustrations. I think it adds a lot to the moment. Like the little sparks and lights and stuff. Okay, boys. It's game time.
Want to carry on? We don't have to if you don't want.
Char, this is literally the only thing
Commander.
I'm thinking about.
Sorry. Every time he says Char, I think of Pokemon. Wow. They're so cute. I feel like that was pretty tastefully done. Yeah, I think that was pretty tastefully done. I talked, what was it, last episode, how I was just kind of like hoping that when they eventually get to this point that they don't really focus on it a ton, because watching children do these things makes me uncomfortable. But I think they straddled the line well enough of like letting us know this is what's happening and focusing on it a little bit, because it's a big thing for these kids to be doing, right? They're nervous about it, they're excited, it's their first times, right? But they also, I think, probably recognize that, like, hey, we're not going to treat this the same way that you would treat, like, Bridgerton or some other show where it's like, hey, we're going to really focus on the fact that these two are boning, right? This isn't Red, White, and Royal Blue. They're not going to be, talking about inserting it, right? Like, we ain't going to be seeing some butt cheeks and people thrusting. Like, that's not what's going to happen on this show. Because they're children. Look, I had some people comment on one of my previous videos where I mentioned that, like, I don't enjoy watching these children make out with each other. And they were like, they're not children, they're 16 and 17. It's like, yeah, that's a child. Like, I don't think you quite realize, like, legally, at least in the United States, that is a child. And, maybe in the UK or other countries, you might consider 16 and 17-year-olds to be, like, a lot more mature and, yeah, like, the drinking age is lower, smoking age is probably lower, whatever. But in the United States, where I have lived and breathed for 29 years, that is considered a child. And any sort of, like, sexual desires that one would have for someone of that age would be, like, across the board considered super gross, right? Like that is just a generally accepted thing in the United States, is that if you're under the age of 18, that's nasty. Like like no one above the age of 18 should get any enjoyment out of that, unless they're like dating that someone and they're like 17, 8, like it's a, you know, right on the border type thing. If you're like if you are, I'd say 19, not 20, because you could be like a 20-year-old. Nah, no, that's still suspect. You could be like a 19-year-old dating a 17-year-old, like maybe you started dating in high school or whatever. Then it's not as weird. But like if you've been separated from high school for a minute now, seeing high schoolers, you know, secondary age kids, 16 and 17-year-olds doing these type of things, it should make you uncomfortable. like that should be your reaction. Like there shouldn't be a situation where you're watching children do these things and you're like, oh yeah, like I'm into this. Like no, that's bad. So when I had people comment being like, they're not kids, they're not children, they're 16 and 17, that's still children. Like what are you talking about? Like I hope that comes across from my end, that like I don't feel uncomfortable because these kids are gay. Like it has nothing to do with like their sexuality, like their preferred person that they want to kiss and do other stuff with. It doesn't have anything to do with their gender or anything like that. Like that, none of that is the part that makes me uncomfortable. The part that makes me uncomfortable is that I'm watching literal children. I mean, well, I guess maybe the actors at this point weren't children, but the characters they're playing are children. It's just kind of like, it's a little iffy. So when there are extended scenes of that happening, I'm just like, don't really have anything to say. Like I'm just kind of awkwardly sitting there. You can probably tell. Like even during Bridgerton, there's been times where like a sex scene is happening in Bridgerton and I'm just like, okay. Like I don't know what to say. Like I'm not gonna give commentary on like the intricacies of what's happening in that scene. Like I don't know. It's weird. But I also know that like that type of thing typically happens at a younger age for people who are like part of the LGBT spectrum. At least that's what I've heard from gay men that I've talked to. I haven't talked to a whole lot of gay women, but gay men that I've talked to specifically have mentioned that, you know, being sexually active at a slightly younger age is not completely uncommon. So it makes sense that like this is something they're addressing, but at the same time, I don't get anything out of watching it happen. But from a character standpoint, I'm glad that these two individuals are like reaching that milestone in their relationship. Like they feel emotionally connected to each other well enough, and obviously physically connected to each other well enough, that they want to progress to that next step. Like their relationship is serious, and I think it is a testament to the strength of their relationship that like they've been through all these things and they've been dating for quite a while and haven't done this yet. Like people who are in a relationship and that sort of thing happens fairly quickly, I think oftentimes you see those relationships fizzle out. But individuals who, at least from my observations, individuals who wait a little longer before taking that step, I feel like their relationships tend to be a bit stronger in that regard. I don't know. It's not 100% by any means, but just what I've seen and from people that I've talked to. When you move too quick, you know, when the fire burns real hot, it can burn quickly. You know, when you're driving down the road so fast You got to make sure that there's still road underneath you. You can't just like outpace the you can't outpace the bricks, you know. I did really also enjoy, well, not enjoy, but like, yeah, enjoy, but like I feel sad for him. Nick's whole conversation where he's worrying about moving away, and he's worried on two fronts, right? Like he is having these like negative thoughts of Charlie being like, "Don't leave me alone," and then he lied to Charlie about it. Charlie's like, "You think I'm fragile," and Nick said no. Like, he doesn't think he's fragile, but he literally just had the thought of Charlie being like, "Don't leave me here alone." Like he's afraid that Charlie will react negatively to him leaving, and then that in turn will, you know, cause other issues. So I don't know why he lied to him about that, but his whole thing about talking about like how when he's not with Charlie, sometimes he still hides behind the mask of the like cool straight boy that he was before, and he's concerned that like when he goes to school, whether that be here like near Charlie or like farther away, he's concerned that he's gonna have to like hide behind that mask again, and like he won't be able to open up to people, and he is afraid of that. Like he doesn't want that to be his experience. Like that sounds awful for him. Like he's acutely aware that he would have to be someone he is not, and he wouldn't be able to feel free and feel like himself. And I liked seeing that. Like I liked that they added that dimension to the character of Nick, because up to this point Nick has kind of been like the strong supportive one in the show, right? Like Charlie has been the one who's been going through a lot of stuff. Nick, the most that he's really had to go through is when he found out he was bi. Like that's like the biggest struggle. And maybe like his dad and his brother, like those are the things that he's had to deal with, which like tough stuff for sure, but nowhere on near on the level of what Charlie's been going through. So adding like an extra element of weakness maybe to Nick, and just, you know, an extra dimension to his character, I like that. I like that he is becoming a deeper, more multifaceted individual. He's not to say that he was a caricature of a character before, but like he becomes more real because of this conversation, if that makes sense. I don't know if my words are coming across the way I want them to, but yeah, I think you get my point. What else? Ellen Tao. I dang near cried because Tao is just a good boyfriend. Like, holy cow, brother. Like, Elle, because of the radio situation, is super depressed. Like, she's not feeling good about herself, not feeling good about her art. Like, she just doesn't want to engage in anything, right? And Tao, recognizing that, chooses to make her this short film about how wonderful he thinks she is and how amazing and beautiful he thinks she is, and just showing her that happiness is a possibility for her and that he loves seeing her be happy. And it's just like this cute romantic moment, and I was tearing up, and I was just like, oh god, like, oh man, like he wants her to tell him what's going on, even if he's not fully gonna understand. Like, he's gonna try and understand because that's who he is. Like, he's her boyfriend. And it's just this cute, beautiful moment. And, you know, Tao has had his ups and downs for sure, especially regarding Elle and like how that has affected the rest of the friend group and stuff. But like, for the most part, I feel like he's been a really solid individual towards her, you know? But yeah, I don't know. I feel like that's all I have to say about this episode for sure. Hopefully I didn't make anyone like too mad. I know there's gonna be some people in the comments that are gonna be like people are going to say some stuff in the comments. They're going to be mad that I vocalized that watching children make out makes me uncomfortable. You know, it is what it is. But otherwise, leave your thoughts down below in the comments. I'm very curious to see how you feel about this episode. If you enjoyed my reaction, please leave a like on the video. It means a lot to me. If you're new here, hit subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified when I upload. And if you want to see the full uncut version of this reaction, consider supporting me on Patreon or joining YouTube memberships. You just sync up your own copy of the show and you can watch along with me. Again, I'm doing early access on Patreon for this show as well. So if you want to see the finale reaction early, that is already up on Patreon. So definitely consider supporting. That would mean the world to me. Other than that, though, that's all I got to say. So I'll catch you guys next time.